How's it going, everybody? Thank you guys for checking back into another video. My name is Gavin, and today we are going to be going over what to wear on a creative or fashion corporate interview. Now, I'm making this video because over the past couple of weeks, I've been interviewing at a couple different fashion corporate jobs. So I thought that there was no better time to make this video than right now, and to give you guys some insight on what my thought process is when I'm getting ready for an interview. Now, to give you guys some background on myself, I was an HR manager at Coach, and I also ran my own shop at Bloomingdale's where I did all the hiring. So I do have some insight on what I looked for as an HR manager, and I also have some insight on what was I wearing to those interviews after having those experiences. Now I'm gonna break this down in two different ways, one being more of a retail focus and one being more of a corporate focus. Retail is a little bit more laid back. They will allow you to wear different things like denim. I know a lot of people say denim is something that you cannot wear on an interview. Now I think that denim can be worn in a professional way if you do pair it back to a nice sweater, if you're dressing that up with a blazer, and if you do have a nice derby or a nice loafer, something like that to dress up the jean. Now you don't want to go into an interview too casual, pairing that with some sneakers or a sweatshirt. This is going to give off a message to the person that is interviewing you that you are a little bit more casual and you don't want to go in too underdressed. Now if you go into an interview a little bit too underdressed, you're going to be giving off a message to the person that you are going to be interviewing with that this isn't as serious as they might want it to be. Also with retail, you want to make sure that you're doing some research on the brand that you are interviewing for. Now, if you're going into interview with a company like Levi's, who is more focused on denim, then in that case, I would recommend going into that interview wearing a blazer, pairing that back to a pair of jeans, and then also wearing a shoe that is a bit more polished and a bit more upscale. Now, on the other hand, if you're interviewing for retail in a place like Bloomingdale's or a little bit more of an upscale retailer, this is something that you want to make sure that you are matching the level of the retailer. What I mean by that is if you see the employees walking around in suits, then chances are you want to go into that interview representing the brand. You want to make sure that you're fitting in with the people that are already working there. So you want to make sure that you are dressing up in a suit as well. I may go into an interview wearing a black suit, pairing that back with a white button down, maybe doing a plaid or subtle print on the tie, having that buttoned up, and also going into it with a nice portfolio. If you are wearing a solid tie, a solid black blazer, and a solid white shirt, a portfolio or an accessory will break that up a little bit. Even if you did a subtle plaid on the socks, this is something that will break up the solids of the outfit and stands out a little bit. Now to focus more on the fashion corporate job. Now I have worked in corporate before. I am interviewing for corporate positions as we speak right now, and this is actually what I wore to a couple of the interviews that I've already done. Now what I'm wearing right now is a beige turtleneck with a navy blue plaid blazer. It's a sport coat, pairing it back to a solid blue pant, and then I pair that back with a brown leather loafer to pull it all together. I also match the belt with the brown, so I also have a brown belt on with the brown shoes. Now with a corporate fashion job interview or something more creative in general, you want to make sure that you are grounding that outfit in professionalism, but how do you give a little bit of a twist on that? And like I said, some of the things that you can do that with is a sport coat. You can pair that back to a nice portfolio. A turtleneck is a professional option that you can replace with your traditional button down and tie. For footwear, I would recommend a loafer versus your traditional derby. You can also wear a nice leather Chelsea boot. This is something that is a little bit different from your traditional lace-up derby, and also you can experiment with a couple different prints on your accessories. Now again, I would recommend doing that with maybe a briefcase or portfolio, maybe a watch band as well. These are some things and subtle ways that you can still show your creativity and show that you do know what is going on in the fashion industry without having to fit the mold of what people think that you should be wearing in a traditional interview. Some other things that you can do to experiment or try something a little bit more creative is also trying to experiment with your pocket square if you are wearing a blazer, or you can also try something with a subtle print on the sock as well. These are subtle ways that you can still show your creativity and be a little bit different than the person that is wearing your more traditional navy or black suit, and also differentiate you from somebody else in the interview process. To sum everything up, you want to just make sure that you are going in prepared. More importantly than anything else, when I was interviewing or I was interviewing people, the most important thing was that somebody was coming in confident. They felt good about what they were talking about, they had the experience, and they took the time to research about the position and the company that they were looking to work for. I always liked somebody that came in prepared, and this is something that you also want to do when going into an interview. But also remember that the outfit is the first impression. You want to make sure that you're going in professional, you want to make sure that you're going in confidently, and ultimately that you feel good about what you're wearing going into that interview. Now I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, definitely take a moment to do that right now. If you have any more tips that you would like to add, definitely go ahead and put those down in the comment section down below. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to put those down in the comment section as well. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video, and we will see each other soon. Thank you guys so much.